Hello, senior high icons. I am Miss Irish Alberto, and I will be your lecturer for the first session of your review in English. So, what are the things that you should expect in this review? Of course, we will recall the fundamentals or basic of English, the subject-verb agreement, the parts and figures of speech, synonyms and antonyms, and also we will discuss some of the most common misspelled words in English. Okay, so with that, let us start our review with the parts of speech. So I hope that you are all familiar with the different parts of speech. So of course, we have the noun, the pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Let us start with noun. Okay, so when we say noun, it is a word which names person, place, or thing. We have these characteristics of a noun. The first one, they are concrete or abstract. They are proper or common. Most are singular or plural, but some are collective. First one, the concrete noun. So when we say concrete noun, it names anything or anyone that you can perceive through your five senses or your physical senses, through your touch, sight, taste, hearing, or smell. As an example, the employer handed the files to the clerk. What are the concrete noun? In this sentence, we have the word employer, files, and the clerk. As the opposite of concrete noun, we have the abstract noun. So it is a noun which names anything which we cannot perceive through our five senses. Example, Natalia is amused by people who are nostalgic about childhood. In this sentence, what do you think is our abstract noun? The word childhood. Okay, next, proper noun. We say proper noun, it identifies a particular person, animal, place, or thing. The first letter of each word of a proper noun is capitalized. So, example. So in this sentence, what do you think is our proper noun? When we say proper noun, it should be in capital letter. The word Labor Day and May. Okay, next, common noun. For common noun, it does not name a particular person or thing. Rather, it refers to a whole class or type. Example, many child care workers are unpaid. So I have here the word workers is an example for common noun. Next, singular noun. For singular noun, a noun is singular if it refers to only one. Example, garden, box, potato. As the opposite of singular noun, we have plural noun. A plural noun, it refers to many. Most nouns made plural with the addition of s or es. Examples, gardens, boxes, and potatoes. Next, collective noun. A collective noun is a noun naming a group of things, animals, or persons. Example, the army is withdrawing from the Asian countries that are in negotiations. What is our collective noun in this sentence? The word army, because an army refers to a group of persons. Another part of speech, we have pronoun. We define pronoun that are words that are used to place nouns. Okay, so we have different types of pronoun: personal pronouns, possessive pronouns, indefinite pronouns, relative pronouns, intensive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, and interrogative pronouns. Let's start with the first type of pronoun, the personal pronoun. It is used to substitute for a person's name. It can be subjective, the pronoun I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Example, they went to the store. We have the pronoun they. In subjective, the pronoun acts as the subject in the sentence. On the other hand, we may also use personal pronoun as objective or object in the sentence. Example of objective pronoun: me, you, her, him, it, us, and them. Example, go to her. The pronoun her as the object in the sentence. Please don't sit beside me. The pronoun me acts as the object in the sentence. Okay? After the personal pronoun, the possessive pronoun. When we say possessive pronouns, it shows ownership or possession of a noun. The pronoun or possessive pronoun my, our, your, his, her, its, and their. Example: is that my book? Indefinite possessive pronoun. It refers previously named or understood noun. The indefinite pronoun: mine, ours, yours, his, hers, and theirs. Example: that's mine. Next, indefinite pronoun. An indefinite pronoun is a type of pronoun that point to particular noun. We use them when an object doesn't need to be specifically identified. So here, indefinite pronoun: few, everyone, some, anything, and nobody. Example: I don't have any paper napkins. Can you bring some? The indefinite pronoun: some. When we say some, you don't have particular number of napkins that you are asked to bring. Okay, next, relative pronoun. A relative pronoun are used to connect a clause, phrase, or a noun or a pronoun. The relative pronoun: who, whom, which, whoever, whichever. Okay, next, intensive pronoun. An intensive pronoun are used to emphasize or intensify nouns and pronouns. Or typically they are located right after the noun they are intensifying. Intensive pronoun: myself, himself, herself, themselves, itself, yourself, yourselves, and ourselves. Example: I myself like to travel. You are already have here pronoun I, but you are emphasizing I with the use of intensive pronoun myself. Next, demonstrative pronoun. So when we say demonstrative pronoun, it take the place of a noun that's already been mentioned. They can be singular or plural. I have here the demonstrative pronoun these, those, these, and that. These and those for plural, and then this and that for singular. Example: don't drink this. Next, interrogative pronoun. They work in sentences that are posing a question. We have the interrogative pronoun: who, whom, which, what, whoever, whomever, whichever, and whatever. Example: usually interrogative pronoun are used with WH questions. Example: who is going to arrive first? We have the interrogative pronoun who. So now let's proceed with the third part of speech, the verb. When we say verb, these are words that express an action, condition, or event as it takes place in the tenses of the verbs. So there are two tenses of the verb: the simple tense and the perfect tense. Under simple tense, we have the present tense, the past tense, and the future tense. So let's discuss first the present tense. So when we say present tense, it shows an habitual action or condition that is taking place at a given moment. He travels regularly. Our verb here is the word travels. Regularly is an habitual action. That is why we use the present tense, travels. Next, for past tense, it shows an action or condition that has already taken place or was completed in the past. Example: I stayed up late night until I finished my manuscript. Our verb here is stayed. That shows that the action was already take place in the past. The last, for simple tense, we have the future tense. So it indicates an action that takes place or that will take place in the future. We are using the pattern will or be going to plus the simple present tense of the verb. Example: he will travel again this coming semester. Our verb here is will travel. This sentence shows things that will exist in the future because of the phrase this coming semester. Next, let's proceed with the perfect tense. For the perfect tense, we have the present perfect tense. It indicates completed action or condition continuing to the present tense. So, for our pattern for present perfect tense, we have or has plus past participle of the verb. Example: the computer has affected your life for several years. Next, past perfect tense. It indicates an action or condition completed before another action or condition happened. For our pattern for the past perfect tense, had plus past participle of the verb. Example: The computer had affected your life before you knew it. We use had, and then the past participle of the verb affect becomes affected. Next, for future perfect tense, it indicates future action or condition completed before another action or condition. So for our pattern, we will use will or shall have plus past participle of the verb. Example, I shall have finished encoding this manuscript by tomorrow. We use shall have, and then the past participle of the verb finish with ed. We also have the signal word tomorrow that indicates that the action will happen in the future.